and what do they celebrate about boyhood? So that's what we're going to be discussing today. And we are with two guests from Julian Boys Foundation, who are going to be sharing with us more about the foundation and about masculinity and about what they do and how they celebrated yesterday's they celebrated the celebration, I don't know how they celebrated the day. Yeah, I'm with Julian. Martha, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's been a minute.
Back. Yes, thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm grateful to God.
Glory to Him.
Yeah.
I'm also with a gentleman here. He's just been telling us that it's his first time. So I hope you give him a big welcome. Mr. Tushabe.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
How have you been?
Well, I'm well. Been up and down for the past week, but we're very grateful, so yeah.
You're very much welcome. So, on International Day of Boy Child, and yesterday was celebrated, I had a chance to pass by and saw a lot of amazing things. And I am told, I'm told that it wasn't the first time that you celebrated a day like that. So if you could help our viewers have a feel of what happens on that day and why that day is important.
Thank you. Also, thank you for coming. Yesterday, I invited you, and last minute, I didn't know you would show up. Even if it was for a short time, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. International Boy Child Day, actually, I didn't know it until one day I'm making noise on social media about boys and all. And then someone texts me and is like, by the way, tomorrow is International Boy Child Day. What are you doing about it? I'm like, ish, there's a day. I got to know that in 2023, that there's a day. I immediately asked, so wait, what do we do? And then from that time, from 2023 up to this time, we've been celebrating the day. We celebrate differently. So first of all, I want to clarify that International Boy Child Day is not only for the boys from underprivileged background or communities, because those are the ones we celebrate, and we are the first people to celebrate International Boy Child Day in Rwanda. We go to the less privileged communities, and then people think, okay, it's for those. No, it's for all boys in the world, as long as they're a male child. This day was to celebrate them. What do we celebrate, or why should we celebrate the boy child? I talked about this the last time I was here, that the boy child is the man of tomorrow. Is the man many years later. So is the father many years later. And it matters. Also, boys need encouragement. Boys need to know that they matter. They are valued. Their presence is, yesterday as we were doing the breakout sessions, one of the boys said, for me, my biggest challenge is to forgive my parents. He doesn't think that his father loves him or his parents love him because they abandoned him. So, and he thinks he's suffering because he's not loved. So you can't tell that person you are loved, and that's why we celebrate them. To tell them it's not a mistake, you're a boy. God loves you. You were created in God's image. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You're going through challenges now, but you're going to be a great man in future. That's why we were saying yesterday, Ndumuhungu, ndumugabo wejo, ndashoboye. We kept telling them to repeat that, Ndumuhungu, ndumugabo wejo, ndashoboye, so that they grow up knowing, it gives them self-confidence. Ndumuhungu, nije mugabo wejo, kandi ndashoboye. I'm able to become a leader. I'm able to become a great person, a leader, a father. I'm able to be valuable to the community, to my family, to become someone great in the future. And I think when boys receive this, you could tell they are so shocked that the strangers have come to celebrate them. Like, yeah, and that's why we exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we exist.
Some time back, I was talking to some friends of mine. This verse she just quoted is a verse that is mostly used in women's conferences I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And I joked with friends and I was like, do you know that those words were actually written by a man? Yeah. And he was talking about himself. It's so shocking that it's almost unheard of that men would have such a affirmation and encouragement. Now, today we'll be talking about manhood, boyhood, masculinity, celebrating them, challenges they face, and so many other things. But we'll also be talking about that from the organization that you are with. And I know we've had a conversation in the past that gave us more context about how the organization started and much more. And I would encourage our viewers to find some time and watch that conversation on our YouTube channel. But for tonight's conversation, and for someone who just tuned in right now and who's going to be following us for this whole hour, I think it would be in order that you give them a summary of Julian Boys Foundation and what do you do, where does it come from, so that for the rest of the conversation, when we refer to Julian Boys Foundation, we'll have an idea of what we're talking about.
Yes. Like I said, the many weeks I was here, many weeks ago, Julian Boys Foundation was born or was birthed from experience of pain from my brother. When my brother was a student, he got into bad groups. Learned how to drink, do drugs, and we didn't know. We are a Christian family, we didn't know. By the time we find out, he's actually addicted and he's been hiding. So, and he's sick. He had gotten so sick. We are so worried what's going to happen. And to cut the story short, those that want the full story should check the YouTube channel. I think I went in detail in that conversation. But I only have one brother. And when I noticed the only man we are left with in the family, we almost lost him. At some point, he wanted to commit suicide because of using. So when I realized we almost lost the only man we are left with in our family, I'm like, no, I need to do something. So when I walked a journey with him, the talks we used to have, I didn't have any experience. I didn't know what to do. I was just doing what I think is right and also praying for him. Asking him what he thinks, what are his dreams, what does he want to be, where does he see himself, to check, does he even know who he is, does he value himself. I would affirm him by his name. I remember telling him, your name is Emmanuel, which means God is with us and God is with you. You'll never get lost. You'll never die young. I would speak those words to him. And as he got better, he introduced me to his friends who were worse than him. And some of them were used to visit them at the rehabilitation center. So those boys, those young men, I also had the same conversations with them. I would sit them, we'd talk, get to know their challenges. Some, again, still have they had further issues. So those talks, those constant conversation and knowing them more helped me know how to help them, but also understand issues of the boys. I don't know 100% issues of boys, guys, but by God's grace, that's where I picked it, because I just kept seeing more and more and more challenges. So Julian Boys Foundation is birthed from that, from the need to be a solution, the need to do something about what's going wrong, the broken society. Yeah, that's a summary. I've done justice to it.
Okay.
That is amazing. And it's amazing how a boy foundation can be started by a girl, a lady. It's very ironic. I find it ironic and very powerful at the same time. So as I wanted to first ask our newly guest here. So I didn't want to start with Julian because I want to understand it from a male perspective. They say that there are a lot of challenges that of course Julian talked about some, but she also said she doesn't know all of them. But I want to understand some of those challenges and how mostly they go unnoticed. Because yes, there is that foundation, but I don't think there are many foundations like that. And there are very many girl foundations that are raising, you know. So I want to understand those challenges, and sometimes they go unnoticed, and I want to understand why, some of the whys. Yeah.
Well, there are usually questions that you get and you're like, there is no right sort of articulate answer to give with this, but I guess like any human, there are problems that come with life. Simply by the fact of living, you are faced with different scenarios and problems that you may come across life. The question is usually if you can handle them or not.
Yes.
And if you have the right support system around you to be able to handle that. And again, with men, boys, as because we're celebrating boyhood, because these are the people that eventually give us the men that we see around us. There is sort of a set stereotype of boys don't cry, or boys. For the lack of sounding like a broken, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, it still does happen, and therefore that means things are going to go unnoticed, not because you do not want them to go unnoticed, but because people are not actually seeing them, because we have become so good at hiding it. We hide it well. You get up in the morning, get to whatever you have to get to during the day, and still be able to get away with whatever you're struggling with. And it has become very comfortable for us not to be able to talk about it. And in fact, when you try to push to talk about it, it has only changed recently. Again, you're at a risk of either getting a very negative response, or now that, let me sort of set a scenario that this is not sort of a blanket statement, but it sort of gives us an idea of what happened with Julian's brother and what actually keeps happening. And again, there are times you think change has been made. Yes, it has been made, but the problem is still there. So again, it's a work in progress, and therefore, when again, I said, like any human, you're facing challenges. As by the fact of being alive, you're going to come across challenges and problems, and whether you have the means to handle it is the question that we're actually talking about. And I've also said that, especially with boys and men, the set standard has always been you're good, you can handle it, even when you can't, and therefore that's when it's very easy for us to get away with it, and then again only see it when it has only gotten so bad.
I'll give this to Julian, because last time in the conversation we had some time back, she helped us see some of the challenges that he's mentioning that we never thought boys struggle with, but which actually affecting boys more than we realize. She talked about the imprisonment, she talked about a number of things, depression, suicidal thoughts, and much more. And yesterday evening I was reading how, and I'm going to give you some numbers, how teen pregnancies have been growing in Rwanda at a proportional rate that you cannot imagine. In 2016 we had 17,000 girls, 17,849 in just 1 year, and it moved from 17,000 to 19,000 in 2018, and jumped from 19,000 to 23,544 in 2019. It's been growing. I think in 2023 it was 32,000 or something like that. I didn't get the number straight, but when I was thinking about it, I was like, when you look at the efforts being invested, and when we talk about teen pregnancy, of course it's girls who get pregnant, but almost all the efforts are focused on those girls.
Yes.
Obviously, among those that get these young ladies pregnant, they are grown-up men, but there is also other boys who are of their age. And when we talk about depression, we don't talk about many other things that come with someone that gets pregnant before they can be able to support themselves and support the child they are bringing. We again focus much attention to girls. Yesterday when I visited and I entered in one of the rooms, we had a breakup session, and some young boys, 14, were confessing how they are using drugs, how they are already sexually active and all that. And I'm like, aren't we focusing so much energy on one side? Because much of the energy is being invested in preventing teen pregnancies, because by the time it has happened, there is little to, I mean, it's not little to nothing, but there's little to really help with. So the best thing is to prevent. But when we are preventing, do we just prevent, like, do we invest preventive measures in girls and leave out boys? So actually my question is, what are some of these challenges? Because I would love us to remind ourselves, what are some of these challenges that boys go through, and probably because they don't speak out or because no one is looking. We don't realize that boys are struggling, maybe let me not say as much as girls, but they are struggling at a rate that we do not really give attention to. The silent battles that boys, because you work with them, you listen to them, you talk to them. I saw you yesterday, just like one of them. I mean it in a positive way. So you understand lots of their struggles. And I'm asking this question because from what you shared last time about the visits you made in upcountry, I'm like, help us tonight give the viewers a feel of what these young boys are going through that is not noticed from a practical, not just numbers. Yeah.
You know why I took a deep silence? I was thinking of, so for the viewers that don't know, I grew up in Uganda, and I said it in the previous interview. There's something that we did in school. When there, in the early 90s, the early 90s, there was a huge outbreak of HIV. And what the leaders did, they showed people who were actually early 90s or early
Late 80s.
Late 80s, yeah, okay. I wasn't born. So me, I know early 90s because that's when I was born. Anyway. I remember growing up in school, we are always singing songs about how HIV kills, killer disease, this and that.
Yeah.
But there's something that happened. They showed one celebrity who was a musician came out and said, I am HIV positive and it is bad, and told the masses, it is bad, it is the worst thing that can happen to anyone. You take so many drugs, you are always weak, your immune system is weak. All the disadvantages. And he exposed what HIV looks like, and people shunned away or feared. In school, every primary school was singing a song about HIV. Every primary school that I went to. And guess what? Our generation recorded lesser HIV outbreak, patients than the previous one, because it was exposed, it was talked about, everyone knew, sensitization. When it comes to boys, their issues are kind of, because there's this, already it's a manly thing to hide weakness. Yeah, it's already a manly thing, don't show weakness. You're only strong if you don't show that you're hurt, you don't show your emotions. You are strong when you don't show, either you're too excited or too sad or too happy or too angry or too, you love too much, don't love too much, don't get hurt too much, don't be angry, then you're a man. That already. Now when it comes to real issues, Men, when they're struggling with fatherhood, they will never see, you'll never know. You'll only see the results in the kids they're raising, that actually you had a bad father because your father didn't teach you this. Or you see the daughters just moving with any boy, you know that their father didn't do it. Because when you have a good father as a daughter, that security protects you from the bad guys.
For sure.
Because you don't have to plead for love. Your dad has already told you you're beautiful, my daughter. You get affirmation from your father that you don't have to look for in a man. So therefore, only a man that is like serious or what, even when like there's a security that comes with just having a good father, healthy father in your life as a girl. As a boy, the same way. When you have a healthy father, a good father as a man, it makes you a better man. You learn to do business. You learn financial intelligence. We learn most of our financial intelligence from our fathers. They will teach you how to have money discipline, time management discipline. Like, it's fathers that protect us or prepare us for the world. Mothers are there to love us unconditionally. Even if you are a thug, your mother will love you. You'll be sure to run back home to your mother's arms. The fathers don't do that. They were created with the ability to slap and also. And God has that.
Yeah.
That's why for people who don't have physical fathers, but they have soaked into the love of God and allowed God to be their father. Also, you see, you can think they have a father.
Yeah.
Because they have learned to receive the love of God. Yeah, so going back to that, because the male gender does not show weakness, it's hard to even dig deep. It takes you a lot to know, oh, depression is actually killing more men than we thought.
Yeah.
So many teenage boys are committing suicide. When boys can't work, no one will just come and give, okay, not the percentage is very small that a man will just receive something for free.
Yep.
No one is going to just come and give a guy something for free. But we girls, by the virtue of existence, receive something's free. Like, because you exist as a girl, and it's a privilege, and I bless the Lord for that. I don't take it for granted that every now and then you get blessed. Yeah? Men rarely do that. Men rarely get that. So if he's not educated and he can't even get a job, and he needs to take care of himself and his family, he's going to turn into being a thug. Yeah. He's going to steal. He's going to cheat. He's going to find a way of, cheating life and stuff like that. So, and he will get arrested for that because there's a law that there's a law that prohibits that. So then we find so many prisons. Today, this morning, someone told me, which prison is it? No, I won't mention the name. I don't know whether it's Majerajere, but one of the prisons we have. And then it had 12,000 women and 30,000 men. The difference is crazy. Now you wonder, where are the wives and children of these men? What are they doing? Because the only breadwinner in the house is locked in prison. So what are they doing? What are those kids becoming while the dad is in the prison? What are they turning into? And they the ones jumping into our houses at night. So you see, it then becomes a national security matter. So what that means, any issue that affects the boy child affects the nation, affects even keeping them in prison. The budget goes up because they have to be fed. Yep. The children, where you came, some of them have been retained in the children's retention facility. It's not prison, it's retention, but they go there because they have been found doing, crimes. They enjoy it there because then they eat. When they come here outside, then they have to struggle to get what to eat.
What? Yeah,
they change and become better kids when they are retained. When they come out, they're like, no, yeah, and then the cycle continues. then you realize we cannot just have, we need something sustainable for the boy child, something not a one-time thing. And that thing, it's one of the things that even me, it still beats my ass. I don't know. I keep asking God, how do you want me to actually go all the way to help this? Even if it's one boy, you never know what this boy becomes in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one thing that leads to another. Lack, uneducation, being uneducated will make him not have a job. And that will make him want to steal because he needs to survive, he needs to live. And that will end up prison. Abandonment, no love. They don't know, they have never received love, they don't know how to give it. Yeah. And it's not only the kids from underprivileged communities, even the kids with busy parents don't have time for them. Actually, instead of giving them a parent, instead of giving his child his presence, we give them presents. We give them phones, we give them trips to Dubai, we give them, instead of giving them your time, pouring yourself into your children, we give them toys. Yeah? And they don't have the treasure of your time. So still, they don't know how to receive love. They think love is iPhone 16. Love is a trip. Love is just buying toys, and when they grow up, that's the only love they know how to give. They don't know the love that gives you time. They don't know the love that gives you, teaches you a skill. They don't know because they come from busy parents. And that boy will grow up and marry someone's daughter. And they'll just say, you want a diamond ring, the most expensive ring? Yeah, because that's all they know. Yeah. You need the best car? Yeah, because that's all they know. Their parents gave them gifts to show them love. Then they're giving gifts, but they're not giving time, quality time, presence. Yeah, and those things, when someone doesn't receive love, they don't know how to give.
Indeed.
I don't even know whether I have answered your question.
You did. You actually answered the following question I had in mind. I was going to ask you about the impact the parents and the guardians have on the boy child, but you basically gave us a picture. But I could also ask, there is this statement you kept on saying about building boys and shaping their futures, So I wanted you to enlighten how that is, that works in the Julian Boys Foundation.
I want to pass it on to
Yeah, you can do it better.
Please. I think it's a slogan. Is it a slogan? Please give us.
Yeah,
it's the theme.
It's a theme that keeps on, and it changes with the year.
You can actually combine it with another one I saw of my responsibility.
My life's
responsibility, which was actually last year's
theme. So you change
every year has a theme.
Oh, nice, nice.
Now, actually, if I will. Sort of coming from the question that was posed to Julian, I think one of the biggest problems is stems from identity, identity, and then expectations, especially on the boy child and men eventually, because then that informs the decisions you take, that informs the work you choose to do, that informs the decisions you make. Is it either I will sort of take a smaller cut from a business deal than a bigger cut because I have integrity, or winner takes it all sort of attitude. So actually the biggest problems again from experience and from what I've learned from the boys is when you do not have an identity, you will go with any wind that comes along because you don't have the foundation of that identity. So when you have a steady family and you have a structured family that pushes you, gives you realistic expectations of what life should look like for you and what is expected of you, then you're able to navigate through life. As I said, by the virtue of being alive, you're going to come across problems here and there. But then the only determinant is whether you can handle it or not. So again, the problems now will come in because you do not have the foundation to sort of take on whatever life is throwing at you. And therefore, you will now, the decisions that come after that are going to be because you ask them about the decisions they make, and And indeed, at times, they can't tell you exactly why.
Yeah.
Or if they were given a chance, would they take the same exact decision in that same circumstance? So I felt like we had to sort of touch that identity is actually across the board, not just the boy child. Identity, the moment you don't have a sort of a clear identity, it then sort of gives you a warped idea of expectations of you and the things that is which informs the decisions you take. So when it comes to mentorship, now that is seeking to directly sort of approach the issue of the identity crisis that comes with, again, usually because how you've grown up, you have not had the support, you have not had the sort of the technical and necessary skills for you to have that clear identity. So with mentorship, we still are trying to create a program where the boys under the foundation are able to access mentorship from reputable men that actually let me sort of scratch reputable men because it will sort of give it a wrong connotation. But men that have proved to us that you can actually walk through this life, this thing we call life, and still get out on the other end. Or at least before you get out of the other end, you're sort of having a clear trajectory. So mentorship is seeking to give them sort of a guideline of one, identity. As a man, as you stand as a man, as a person who, as a man who has Christ, Jesus as the Lord and Savior, what is your contribution to this life? What is your contribution to your community? What is your contribution to your family? And sort of that will inform the decisions they make. That even at the pits of any issue they're running, they're sort of experiencing, sort of their identity still sticks out. They will not be waived and sort of be forced to take the wrong course of decisions that will end them up in detention centers, in prisons, in being a menace to the society rather than being sort of a pillar to the society that they actually are. Because again, everyone has potential. Everyone has been born with potential to be a significant member of the community. And of course, that will then be a benefit for all of the whole community. If my brother is a good person and, okay, good person is misused, let me take that. So if my brother is a responsible member of society, that means they heed to their responsibilities. They, everything that is required of them, to the best of their abilities, they do. So even in the cases where we have shortcomings, again, errors to human, we are able to walk through it from the basis that we're dealing with a sane human being. So again, so that is what mentorship seeks to find, to give an identity, and then from that identity form the decisions they take and sort of the life they lead afterwards.
Before Teta asks a different thing.
I was.
I would love to, I'm super curious about those specific, small, memorable statements that you use.
The themes.
My life, my responsibility. What are you trying to tell the public? What are you trying to tell those boys when you coin those statements?
Yes, so again, now, it is important to say that I only joined the foundation just last year, and I was very intent on making sure Julian had sort of given me the vision and and how the vision came to life, and why the vision had come to her. So with that, again, like we said, responsibilities and expectations and all of that, especially with men, before you even get to a family, even as an individual, there is an expectation to have your life
together,
for the lack of a better word, figured out. So with all of that, it again sets a level of pressure on the boy to have at some level, at some age, to have sort of made up their mind on what they want to do, what they want to be, where they want to be, and how everything should look like for them. So we understand that responsibility, and I personally understand, I think you would too, that as you grow up, you have the dreams, but then you also, you sort of feel the task to know how you're going to get to those dreams. So when we come with when coming up with the themes, we sort of alleviating that vagueness with this life. That what should life look like, or what should I do first, and then what next? So these themes help sort of set a pace for them. I mean, because they're annually, so the themes help set a pace, and usually they're inspired by what we have seen with the boys in that particular time, or even what is sort of being going around in the country, or even across the borders. That then sort of gives them, if it is an issue that we are sort of ticking off, not even ticking off necessarily, maybe approaching to sort of change and make sure there is some movement on that end that should help. For instance, last year was My Life, My Responsibility. Because now, again, we can't do away with entirely the pressure, because, again, I think the pressure is good for most of us. So when we say, for instance, last year when we said My Life, My Responsibility, it seeks to inform them that this is your life, and therefore at some level, in fact, at a significant level, you are in charge of what is happening in your life. We cannot do away with what is happening around you and what is happening to you, but your decisions and your attitude towards whatever is going on around you is entirely on your plate to take that decision. Now the only problem, if we expect you to make those decisions without the right tools or the right people around you to help you make those decisions. So just to sort of cut it short, the themes are simply trying to create clarity with either an issue we're thinking of, or decisions, or a trend we're seeing, and we're seeking for the boys to sort of have a straight mind on it.
Yesterday when you helped those young men repeat the, should I call them slogans? Ndo mugabo ndashoboye. Ndo mugabo wejo ndashoboye. And then they repeat that so many times. Obviously, there is a lot of psychology research that shows that these things that you repeat, they kind of become part of you. But also, I guess probably it happens to you sometimes, I don't know. But sometimes when your mind is going blank, maybe you've been tired and you're shifting from one task to another, there's a way that your mind goes blank and you sort of start whistling or something like that. Sometimes when it happens to me, I remember, like, a song comes in my head. I remember when we were kids and we used to sing this Komonik, another song, Ifugango. The words come in your head and you kind of get to reflect on them. And you're like, okay. Yeah. So yesterday when you were asking the young men to repeat that, I was like, okay. So at some point when their mind goes blank, some of them will be like, hey, ndo muhungu, and that's okay. And this is what I mean. So yesterday, when I was telling you that one of the things that really touched me was to see young men for the first time in a setting where you bring young men together and you affirm them. It's not common. I've never seen it before. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Maybe in a group where there is men and women, maybe church leaders will be like, repeat after me. That's okay. But seeing just young men of that age being affirmed was an amazing thing. So let me ask Ms. Julian. This is what Julian Boys Foundation is doing. And we are talking about numbers of boys who get these young ladies pregnant. We are talking about number of boys who are in prison, number of boys who are in rehabilitation centers. We didn't mention that, but it's also a very, very huge number, because the number of, if you were to compare the ratio of boys to girls who are in drugs and who are in rehabilitation centers, you find the number of boys to be very, very high, and the number is just too big. Right? And Julian Foundation maybe will help about, I don't know, 200 kids a year or something like that. And I think there's a need for more. Yeah. And I don't know where that more should come from. Is it just, I mean, we have a privilege to sit on the cameras and talk the whole nation. This TV goes as, I mean, in every corner, in every district, in everywhere that they can access electricity and have a TV, they are able to watch us. And I wanted to hear you as somebody who's been part of this, who's been not only advocating it, but also participating in it. What do you think? Because I am assuming that some people, first of all, then realize that boys are struggling. Or even when they realize, they're like, I have so much that's going on with my life. I don't have enough time for my boys and for my, or I don't have enough time for my, I don't know, members of my church, and so on and so forth. Would I be able to add anything else? Is it that difficult to help boys? Is that what is preventing us from investing more time, more money, more everything into it? What can we do? Now that we hear all these things, now that we hear how not disguised, but unclear identity in boys pushes them to go to all kinds of things. What can someone watching us, I mean, from organizations, individuals, what can we do? Where do we start? What do we do?
Thank you so much. We start with ourselves. We start with the boys we have in our families, the brothers we have, the nephews, the nieces. The nearest boy to you is where you start from. Correct them. Sometimes people say, no, he's a boy, he will manage. He's a boy, he can. And then also boys grow up thinking, it's okay, I can't cook, I can't clean myself, I can't dress the way I want. I remember when we were growing up, they used to tell us, hey, you can't dress like this, you can't do this, you don't sit like this, you're a girl, you eat like this, you don't open your mouth. And no one tells boys to do those things. And then you go, the boy is moving, the pantalon, you can see the inner garment, and it's okay because they are boys, their chests are out, it's okay because they are boys. When boys get away with so much, why wouldn't they use strong drugs? And mind you, they are fellow boys who grew up from poorly raised, poor families, and I mean poor, I don't even mean money, I mean mutual. They tell them, no, what makes you a man is take hard things. Hard guy. Hard guy take hard liquor. Hard guy take the strong, you know, that's what makes you the guy, hard guy. And before you know it, it's deteriorating their health, it's deteriorating. So I think we should just continue talking about these things. When we talked about gender-based violence, we saw a change. When we talked about teenage pregnancies in girls, we've seen a change. Girls now are more educated than boys. The ratio of girls' education is higher than boys because every panel talked about it. Every parliament sitting talked about it. Every school. So let's talk about them. Let's talk about the challenges. Let's expose them. But also let's be discerning. Boys might not come and tell you, I'm broke. A boy that tells you I'm broke, indeed. But you can tell they're broke. You can see an unshaved young man and you're like, this guy is going through it. The shirt is torn, the collar is whatever. There's something. And then find how to help them. I'm one of those people who don't give boys money, cash, but I give you something to do and I pay you for it and you feel like your work is valued. Then I believe I'm training you to work for something. So by God's grace, God has put me in a place where I can actually give someone a job. So when I see someone struggling, even if it's washing cars, even if it's slashing, but pay them for their energy, for their time, and then they will feel like, yeah, I'm working, I'm doing something with my life, and I'm adding value somewhere. So don't wait for them to say. Reach out, correct them. I mean, there's a lot we can do, but also let's raise boys with that mindset of mugabo weshu. He's going to become a father. What kind of father is he going to be? He will one day go and take someone's daughter as a wife. What kind of husband am I preparing my son to be? I say what kind of, and it goes the other way around. What kind of wife am I preparing my daughter is to be? Is it the wife that is a man in the house? Because also the over-empowerment has also caused women to turn into men. So the balance of life, the balancing of, I am raising daughters and sons, and I have to customize parenthood. This is what is to the girl, and this is what to the boy, but together I'm raising a generation. Wherever they go, they'll be fine. You don't have to give them money. Hey, guys, you don't have to give, anyone watching, you don't have to give a child too much money, gadgets. Just give them time. Invest in them. Teach them values. Teach them skills. Teach them how to survive without you. And they will never suffer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing. Teach them how to live without the parents. I have probably one or two questions that I can combine. As a male, I wanted to ask you to, because I think there's a lot that has been spoken towards the society, but I wanted you to give probably a specific message to the boy child or the male, that the male in general, and probably a message to your younger self.
His young self?
Yeah.
Message, man.
Interesting.
Well, again, I think mine, simply, you can do this. Literally, like, put your mind to it. I mean, if it is, I don't know what it is that you think is insurmountable, you can do this. Yeah. To my younger self, yeah, you can do this.
It's super powerful.
Yeah.
So that's your way. You're telling the younger self,
Yeah.
There you go.
That is very
It's extremely
powerful.
powerful. There's
Yeah.
a professor says, you know, it's you know how to quote it in Kinyarwanda. I don't know how it is in English, if it's the same similar words. It says, mwikomeze mubabagabo. That's like saying, be courageous and be men. I think in King James version they used that word, but in other versions they use some other words. And you have no idea what it means, like tell a young man, be a man. It's like probably greatest encouragement. And what you mean by be a man, like telling them, you're able, you know? So it's extremely powerful. Now, because we're coming to the end of our conversation, almost done with time, I want to ask Julian, someone might not be able to start a foundation like you did, and might not know one single other organization that is helping boys, you know? Or they might have heard about Julian Boys Foundation and they would love to get involved or to kind of provide any kind of support, probably be part of the mentors or people who come to visit and just chat with kids, probably support financially or probably pray for you. How do we do it? How do we reach you?
We have a website. Visit our website, www.julianboysfoundation.com.
Okay.
Yeah. Another way, you follow us, write to us. Follow us on our social media platforms, on Instagram. Write to us. You are most welcome to volunteer. We need mentors. We need resources. One of the big, school is not a problem. Boys want to go to school because we have so many government schools. Hunger is the problem. How do they survive after school? What about in the weekend? Because now home becomes, at least the boys that we deal with. So hunger. Provide the food if you have a farm. Give us vitoche, kaunga. The boys will be so happy. So happy. Even the small we give, they're so happy, you know. Give your time. Call us, tell us you want to, if you are a psychologist, you know how to talk to a counselor. These kids are so broken, and you can spare 1 or 2 hours to come speak to them. You are most welcome. If you can give of your time or resources, you are most welcome. So, you know, when it comes to NGOs or non-profits, whatever you give, trust me, it is useful in ways you can't even. Donate clothes, donate shoes. These are kids that go to school without clothes and shoes. They have, but they're torn too old. Yeah, donate, and God will bless you.
Wow. Someone might have watched us today and probably wondered what each one of you does at Jan. Because I think I didn't do, we didn't. Let me share the good thing about you did a good job of introducing you. Now, almost introducing you at the end, but it's good that at least they know if I meet you, I don't know where, I'll be able to shake hand with you and ask you how you're doing at Julian Boys Foundation. And probably ask you a thing or two because of what I know that you do there. So let me start with you, maybe. Let's start with you. Yeah. Ladies first.
Yes, I'm Julian. I'm the founder of Julian Boys Foundation. Yeah, I think that's what I do. I am in everything. You know, when things are just starting, you are the admin, you are the operations, you are what, but with time, you see, these are the people. One day when we said, if you have a skill and you can help, and people started showing up, and that's when we got Lenox. Do you want to speak about what you do, or you want me to speak?
Well, that's your way.
That is true.
Well, right now, again, because we're still setting it up and we're still in the groundwork, but my focus is now in the administration and the finance part of things with JBF. So making, for the lack of a better word again, I'm the numbers guy, I guess.
Okay. He's
That's the best word, actually.
He's a numbers guy. He's professionally the numbers guy in the marketplace. His work. So when he comes, he brings those skills to JBF, but also he makes things happen. He's very good at coordinating stuff.
So allow me to thank you both for choosing to be here tonight and to discuss the things that we discussed tonight. Thank you so much, Julian. This is your third time to come here.
I feel like you should give me a job here.
You're now part of us, actually.
You're part of us.
You know what he's doing at Julian Foundation, you're doing it at Staying.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm forever grateful. I don't take this for granted.
Yeah, and Mr. Tushabe.
Yes.
It's a joy for me to meet you. I had probably chatted or talked to you on call, and we didn't get to see each other.
We didn't meet yesterday.
Yeah, so it's a joy for me to have you in our conversation, and thank you for sharing so much wisdom in very few words.
Thank you so much.
Summarizes everything. A typical man.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much also for doing an amazing job that you always do.
Thank you so much.
And to our viewers, we want to thank you so very much for always tuning in to watch us, for always sharing your feedback on our channels. This is Staying the Course. It's a conversation that is empowered by Christ for the Nations Ministries. And the name of the conversation is actually taken from the name of a book that is called also Staying the Course, which has been written by Dr. Paul Desire, who happens to be the leader of Christ for the Nations Ministries. And you can get this book in any of the bookshops in Kigali. You can also get it on Amazon. And if you're in Rwanda and you don't want to go to any bookshop and you want to buy it online, you can also find it at vitalreadings.com, which is the publishing house that publishes this book. And particularly to boys and men, we want to wish you a great time of understanding yourselves, of affirming yourselves, of knowing that God created you for a particular purpose, and you are very much needed in this world. If as men we are able to fulfill the purpose that God has created us for, it does not only help us as men to feel satisfied and fulfilled, but also creates so many opportunities and so many advantages for women, and the entire world benefits. So we want to encourage you that whatever you're doing that is positive, please keep it up, because you're contributing to making this planet better than you found it, and probably better than you will leave it. So keep it up. Wishing you all of you a great evening and a great week ahead. May God bless you.